Hey everybody, it is TorontoUnicorn here, and I am in a cute little strawberry and cherry dress. It is just the one that I felt called to wear. I'll show you a little bit before I sit back down. Basically, it's, not short enough, but I can always fucking fix that, can't ya? This is episode number 8 for my podcast, and it is called I Have Always Been This Way. I have always thought about sex all the time. I loved it when I found this lifestyle in this community because I found my tribe and I found people who thought about sex too, and people who were even pinkier than me, people who were even hornier than me, you know. So it was beautiful to discover, almost like an island, you know, amongst the trees or the bushes, and I'm like, oh my god, there is the land, I do belong, like, you know, like I've got to say, it felt nothing less than that. I'm not even exaggerating. I just love sex. Who doesn't? And I want to walk you through, in a long format version, what it was like to be me growing up like this, because I have always been this way. Like, I never even had a phase of time where there was like boys had cuties kind of thing. Like, at all times I was like humana. Like, I remember that when I was in junior high school, my friends asked me in the stairwell if I could show them how to give a blowjob. And I did. I think I had someone's banana. Like, it wasn't, I didn't peel it. I used the normal banana. And I would show them. And it was funny because fast forward how many fucking years, and I'm still being the girl being like, and this is how you do the blowjob. Like, you know? Mind fucked. Mind blown. I've always been this girl. And I love this girl. My sexual freedom, I want you to use as your license to have a slice for yourself. In university, I wrote papers on porn, and that was my brain back then, and I can prove that I was still TorontoUnicorn back then, talking about sex and like looking over the fence of sex and like being so fascinated about things. And so I have had a long life so far of a constant thread of sex. Like, it's just sex. I would take my boyfriends to strip clubs, and I would pay the strippers to give him lap dances, and I would watch. And I remember thinking, I'm like the coolest girlfriend ever, because like no one I knew was ever doing this, like, you know. And I just remember thinking I liked it. I liked seeing someone, you know, grind up on my boyfriend when it was like a safe experience, not like when some girls like, you know, wait until I'm in the bathroom to do so. I went to strip clubs thinking that's all there is, you know. It's like a theme song. Is that all there is? Like, that was the limit of sexual peak of how you could live your fucking best life. That's what I thought. And then I discovered the sex clubs and all that, and then it's not about money, and it's more about just humans and all that, and I'm just like, yeah, this is more my style. So I would consider strip clubs to be more vanilla world erotic versus swinger. Got that kind of thing? Yeah, so I have always had this interest, this, you know, fascination. You can see if you're watching my YouTube video right now. There's like a glow in my eye that happens when I talk about things I really like. And one of those things is cock worship, because I do have a thing for certain cocks that, you know, I tend to almost just get kind of tranced into something. That is very fun for me. But I'm telling you, sexual innuendos are like, you can only go so far with those, you know. Eventually you need to be around friends who you can make, you know, vulgar sexual jokes with. Like, for me and like, we always have that exchange where we can just, you know, say really crazy shit to each other. It's kind of funny. Tip our hats at for each other metaphorically is the respect for sex. The respect for people liking sex and wanting sex and enjoying sex. And you don't just get that in the vanilla world. So that's why, you know, as soon as I got that, I applied for permanent residency in the swinger sex positive lifestyle, so to speak. I have always been this way. I have just not always had the license to express myself freely. That is the difference. Even on YouTube, which will only get a small cut of this podcast version in total because of, you know, what I'm allowed to say here and stuff. But my podcast is a good place to go and see me uncensored, as well as my fan page, which is definitely the creme de la creme of what I have to offer. I don't know why you wouldn't upgrade what you could upgrade at this point. Like, you know, it's like a fleeting thing. I'm not going to be, you know, showing my videos on my fan page forever. It's a miracle I did it at all, considering how shy and conservative I am specifically about actually showing things like that. So I'm very sexually minded, yes. But I'm actually not a sexual exhibitionist. So I'm a personality exhibitionist. I could sit in a room and crack jokes and whatnot. But I don't necessarily want to have sex in front of people. I'm okay with it, like it can happen, but I don't seek it out. I don't seek to have a crowd. And in fact, a crowd can make me nervous. So it's one of those things where the fact that I have a fan page at all is shocking. The fact that I put up anything. So the fact I'm enjoying the ride right now. So if you haven't upgraded yet, I hope you check it out. The link is always going to be available on TorontoUnicorn.com. The second part of this podcast is more in respect of what is it like to have finally found my tribe of people who are also just like me and maybe have always been. My heart couldn't be fuller when I'm around people who make me feel normal because I'm a swinger. I love that I'm a swinger. Being a swinger is my favorite part of my whole fucking life right now. Catch the full 32-minute episode everywhere you get your podcast. Just search for Sex and Swinging with Toronto Unicorn.